Good morning, Fair Business Australians. Rebecca Lloyd here. What is the purpose of Fair Business Australia? Who are we? Why are we doing what we're doing? And what does that mean for you? The purpose of Fair Business Australia is very, very simple. We're here to educate you if you're a consumer, educate you whilst you shop until you vote. If you're a business owner, we're here to educate and protect you, a little bit more about that later, whilst you trade until you vote. Now, everybody that is here on the Fair Business Australia page already knows their why. They know that they're very dissatisfied with, if you're a business owner, the state of retail and the state of small business. If you're a consumer, the state of your medical privacy being challenged and being asked to be put on display for everybody to see and have a conversation about. But what does that mean for you in an everyday basis? Well, first you actually need to get educated so that you can disseminate fact from fiction. You can disseminate what does the government actually say, what do the gossips and the Chinese whispers say, which is not always intentional. Sometimes it just happens like that on social media. So what we do is we actually provide you with educational packs that are taken directly from governmental websites. We troll through all the useless information and the garbled speak and all that, and we highlight information that is relevant to you at the time so that you can get educated, know what your rights are, and know how to navigate what is a changing landscape, because you look at it 3 months ago and it might very well have changed now. I had a look at something yesterday and it seemed to me that it might very well have changed, so I've gotten onto the lawyer and said, have you seen this? I'm not sure, could you please assist me with this? Further to that, the information that we put out has either been taken from a governmental website or prepared by a lawyer, or both. It's not just information that we're hearing on the grapevine and we're cobbling together and just chucking out to you. No, it's information that you can actually go back, see the citations, see where the links are, and educate yourself. And that stands for both consumers and business owners. Okay, it's really, really important to get educated. Case in point, there are still businesses down in New South Wales who are asking for vaccine passports. On the governmental website, as I put a video up yesterday, you don't actually have to do that anymore. So why are you still asking for a vaccine passport when that is no longer required of you? You don't need to navigate that anymore. That's done. So you can respect people's privacy without fear of any type of retribution from the government. Moving through to whilst you shop, whilst you trade. It's all well and good to know your why and to get educated, but what does that actually look like boots on the ground? Going to a rally is great, but if you're only attending a rally every month, what are you doing the other 28, 29, 30 days of the month? Well, you can be shopping, you can be putting your dollar where your mouth is. You can be putting your dollar where your values are. You can be shopping local. You can take your why into your everyday transactional decisions. Or as a business owner, you can take your why into putting your wares, your services, your products in front of consumers who share the same why as you, and that becomes very powerful. We're starting to get more and more views on the platform every day. I have lots of people coming through to Messenger saying, I'm shopping for businesses in my local area. Do you have this? Do you have that? And unfortunately, a lot of local areas still are either very meagerly populated or not populated at all with business owners. So consumers who are looking for pro-privacy, hashtag we won't ask businesses, which you are absolutely in your rights to do that as a business owner. If you get the police pack as part of your platinum package, you will see that you are within your rights not to have to ask. So if you're not on the platform, how are customers going to find you? And you are missing out on a whole bunch of revenue that you could be getting if you were to take your values and actually put them onto the platform. Now, coming back to what I said to business owners about that we're here to educate and protect you. Fair Business Australia is a 100% not-for-profit platform. Now, what does that mean? We are not a registered charity. We are not a registered not-for-profit, which means that the money that goes through the platform is not tax deductible. But what it does mean is that when you actually invest in the platform for certain products, namely the police pack and the platinum package, a percentage of those finances actually goes into a legal fund, which is a not-for-profit setup system. And that means that if you end up with a fine and you need legal support, if there's enough money in the kitty, we will be able to help to pay towards your legal fees. Now, for people who are talking about, well, let's just set up an alternate society, let's just be done with this and let's go over here. It's all well and good to say that, but in order to actually set up a proper infrastructure, you have to leave this infrastructure quite a bit, namely hospitals, roads, schools, all the other things that you can't really choose right now. So the way to set up an alternative system is to first start putting your money where your mouth is and shopping local. Because as we can decentralize wealth and bring it back into local community dollars, we will be able to grow the infrastructure by growing the local business owners who are entrepreneurial and who will be able to fund all those different projects like schools and roads and hospitals and all those different things that as a consumer you really, really want, but you don't have the finances and you don't have the connections to have all that happen for you. Business owners, on the other hand, they do. They are very, very clever at pivoting, which is why they are business owners. And as a consumer, you need to understand that if business fails, if small business fails, the country will fold. 97% of Australia's workforce are employed by a small to medium enterprise. That means unless you're in the 3%er, you on this video right now, you are employed by a small to medium enterprise. And that is very concerning. Not to mention, historically, we all know that tax is paid on the backs of the middle class. And that's people that are employed by small to mediums and people who are small to medium owners. So if those two groups of people don't have small business to fall back on or to operate in, there is no tax. And the government can only continue to print money for a finite period of time before we end up very badly owned by the big boys. Which brings me on to my third point. Remember, we educate you first. If there's enough money in the kitty, then as a business owner, you will be protected. If you do get an unlawful fine, you'll be able to come through to us and we can help to cover your legal funds with the legal kitty. So you shop and you trade so that the 28, 29, 30 days of the month that you're not attending a rally or not making your opinion known on Facebook, you can be putting your money where your mouth is, and that is measurable. And what is measurable makes a difference. We're all seeing now that when rallies were a couple of hundred people, no big deal. Now that we're getting up to a couple of 100,000 people, it's really starting to be measured. It's really starting to ramp up. But if you're not at a rally, you can daily make a consumer or a business decision in the right direction to decentralize wealth and to shop local and keep small business afloat during these challenging times. Now, moving through to vote. We educate whilst we shop until we vote. Now, we're moving through to a federal election, probably around May. And it's really, really important that you who are on this video and who are on this platform and who are watching videos like this, you already know your why. And you probably have looked into politics at least a little bit. But a lot of Australians haven't. A lot of Australians are completely uneducated when it comes to politics. And so it's really important that we actually shed light on what are you actually voting for at election time. So if you're part of this platform, we will be rolling out an absolutely, how can I say this, very impactful, an entirely impactful marketing campaign so that people know how to vote and they can make a very strong decision when it comes time for that. But waiting every 4 years to be able to hopefully make a difference in the country is actually not going to change the country. We're in such a bad state right now that, pun intended, we are in a bad state, but so is every other state around Australia. But nationally, we are in such a bad state right now that it might take 2, 3, 4, 5 election cycles to actually get the country back on track and profitable again if we just wait for election cycles. And if that election cycle fails, then we've got another 4 years to wait for the next thing. But if you shop and you trade all the time, knowing why am I doing this? Why am I making this daily decision with my consumer dollar? We can shift things very, very quickly simply off the power of community. Now, I posted an image on the Facebook page a little while ago, and it's a very, very famous picture, and it's a whole bunch of serfs, like servants, slaves, with a Monopoly board on their backs. and all the, the fat cats are around just dealing out the money and enjoying their life. And it says all we have to do is stand up and the game is over. And so what Fair Business Australia does is it educates you enough so you know how to stand up, because you know your rights, so that you can stand up, so that you can bring your why into your how. It's really, really important that we connect those two. Having a why is not sufficient. There are so many Facebook groups and private groups and all those other things, and Telegram groups. But if you're just communicating amongst yourselves, you may as well be sitting around the dining room table having a conversation after dinner about the state of the world. So what? People in Canberra don't care about your conversations around the proverbial dining table. They don't. Because if they did, things would be very, very different now, 2 years in to a supposed pandemic. So you have to actually take those why conversations into a how. And that is what Fair Business Australia does. We educate you so that you're very, very crystal clear on your why. We provide a platform for you so that you can bring your why into your how. And we then provide enough information so that when it's time to vote, you can actually get people in that are going to be connected to your why. I personally have met 5 people now who are either running or plan to run as an independent or one of the minor parties. And they're all business owners, every single one of them. Very, very exciting times. So if you're not already shopping on the platform, can I encourage you, please go to the platform, find a local business. If there is no one in your local area, please keep a lookout on this Facebook page and on the different videos across the socials, because we are on lots of different platforms. And we will be explaining to you over the next couple of weeks how you can very, very easily, very non-confrontationally educate business owners who are complying or who aren't aware of their rights as to how they can come onto the platform and sell to more people and get more revenue. We don't want this to be an argument about whether you should be or shouldn't be vaccinated. That is not our jam. If you want to do that, there are lots of other places that you can go. If you want to talk about adverse reactions and all that stuff, there's lots of other places you can go. But right here, we are here to recondition small business in Australia by education. So please do shop on the platform. You can shop for a butcher in Bendigo or a florist in Fremantle or any of the keywords that you think, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, clothes, shoes, bags, groceries, whatever the keywords are. That's why we're on the platform that we're on right now, because every single business owner that comes on board, they put in all the tags that they want to be found for. And they also put in the area, so you can shop via your local postcode, or you can shop via your greater area, or you can shop via your state. So it's really, really, really easy to find someone in your local area. And if you are a business owner and you've purchased the police pack, you will have received a link to sign up. Can I encourage you, please, to get your business on the platform? It's really important that we have enough businesses on the platform, otherwise the consumers won't come. And you will be stuck trying to grow your business through Facebook advertising and through Google SEO, which is cost to you that you don't need to spend if, as business owners, we can all work together and encourage consumers to come to a one centralized, not-for-profit, Australian-owned platform. Now, I'm going to leave you with this final takeaway before I go. Fair Business Australia is right now education and a business directory, and we'll be talking about voting over the next 6 months. But where are we actually going? Well, Fair Business Australia is going to be the not-for-profit alternative to Amazon. So we're going to decentralize wealth. Instead of paying 13 to 17% for the privilege of listing on a foreign-owned platform and sending your money offshore, we are going to have 10%, and you can list your money on the Fair Business Australia platform, which is 100% not-for-profit and Australian-owned. And once we've paid our overheads, which are very, very low, because a lot of the platform works off artificial intelligence. We set up the systems and then the computer does it for us, the algorithms. So once you've done that and you've paid for your overheads, that's a lot of money that can go directly back into local small business. We can overcome unemployment. We can bring manufacturing to Australia on the backs of small business owners. We can fix agriculture. When we've got a whole bunch of consumers, that's where voting gets very, very clever, because then we've got a whole bunch of people that we can easily educate and say, Did you know that the member for so-and-so is actually trying to do this to small business? Didn't know that. You probably should. But did you know that the member over here in this area is actually trying to do this, but they can't get a look in because it's an unwinnable seat? Wouldn't be any more if we could get a whole bunch of people with one heart, one mind, one why, and tell them this is how you should vote, this is where you should go. Okay, so right now, if you're not yet shopping on the platform, please can I encourage you to start shopping local. If you're not yet listed on the platform, get on the platform, get in front of people who share your same why. Keep a lookout for when we do start as a marketplace. I'm having some very interesting conversations with some overseas people and some local people as well, so that's very exciting. And then we'll be rolling out in the next few weeks quite a lot of different things. For those of you who have put onto the platform, you will have already received your September through December report that shows you exactly where the finances are going, exactly what the traffic is doing, where's the traffic coming from, all this kind of stuff that as a business owner you'll be very interested to know, and as a consumer you can just have a bit of a sticky beak. And then when you come on the platform now, you'll get your January to March report, and the reports will come out every 3 months so that you can see 100% transparent, how is the business growing, how is the platform growing, how much money is going into the legal kitty, what's going where, etc., etc. And together we can push back, together we can rebuild, and we will win if we work together. So get your why, partner it with your how, until we go to the voting booths. Have a great day. Thank you for sticking around on this video. It's a bit long, but I look forward to seeing you for the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll speak with you soon.